Okay. Good afternoon, Miss Mead. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I heard you are um joining us partnership with us at Pepsi, and as one of their representatives, it's a corporation policy that I have to just give you a brief presentation on business ethics, nothing crazy. So I hope you enjoy. All right. So I'm just going to be going over the importance of business ethics. So I'm going to start off here. What is business ethics? Pretty simple. They're rules, principles, and standards of deciding what is morally right or wrong when working. These ethics need to be followed to maintain fairness and morality in the business world. Now we're going to dive into a couple subtopics that fall under business ethics, and we're going to start with dressing appropriately for the workplace. So, your appearance is often the first thing people will notice. Being sloppy or less presentable can lead to others presuming that you're lazy, unreliable, or unprofessional. Dressing professionally can help build a positive impression to others you'll meet in the workplace, and it can even help you come off as professional in job interviews and with landing internships as well. Now, moving on to appropriate language and gestures. Using appropriate language and bodily gestures should always be practiced in the workplace. Using inappropriate language can hurt your credibility, undermine your argument, and alienate your audience. The most effective way to deliver your intent to boss or coworker is in an appropriate tone and word choice as well. Now, with body language, a positive body language can help build bonds and establish trust with others in the workplace. For example, if I'm giving a conference and there's people at the table that are putting their head down, yawning, and looking at other parts of the room, that shows that they're disinterested, and it's pretty rude when someone's speaking, especially in the workplace. So, showing appropriate body language would be having your hands crossed on the table with your eye contact being on the person speaking. Now we're going to move on to a very touchy subject. One that's very important to go over is harassment in the workplace. It is extremely important to avoid all types of harassment, such as sexual, physical, and online. Avoiding this helps to build a safe culture and promotes employee engagement because no one wants to be in a workplace where they're being harassed in any form. It creates a very unsafe and unethical work environment and makes people not want to come into work as well. It also increases employee retention. So if employees are working somewhere that's harassment free, they'll want to work with that company for longer. And it protects you against legal liabilities as well. And I'm just going to give you a couple real life examples here. So famous women such as Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, and Alyssa Milano, who all worked for the Weinstein Company, were all sexually harassed by founder Harvey Weinstein. And these cases arose around 2018 when they began speaking out against sexual abuse they experienced in the workplace. Now, when it comes to physical harassment, it causes dissatisfaction, disengagement, tardiness, and absenteeism. And that's because if someone is working in an environment where they're being physically harassed, they're not going to want to come in. And people not coming in means that their jobs aren't getting done, which also can hurt the company as well. Now, for online harassment, that includes any unwanted behavior, words, or acts that create a hostile or intimidating workplace via online social media. It may include things that are racial, gender, religion, or age-based. Now we're just going to briefly talk about drugs and alcohol in the workplace. So, intoxication by alcohol or drugs can affect work performance by impairing decision making and reaction times, reducing productivity and leading to the production of inferior goods and services, and errors, and even increases the chance of workplace accidents. I just have a couple statistics here. So, more than 70% of Americans dealing with drug or alcohol addiction are employed, and drug use in the workplace result in an average of $81 billion in lost profits every year. So not only are you putting your health at risk, and the lives of others at risk when using drugs in the workplace, but you're also hurting the profit of your company that you work for and represent. They can alter the way a person thinks, perceives, and feels, and this can lead to either impaired judgment or concentration. All right, now moving on to discrimination. It's crucial to avoid all types of discrimination: racial, religious, disability, and gender. A business that goes above and beyond to prevent discrimination is likely to reap the rewards in employee satisfaction, loyalty, positive brand reputation, and financial benefits. Those that prioritize diversity and inclusion tend to outperform those that don't. And just a couple real life examples again. Disney was sued in 2019 over gender-based pay discrimination, and multiple additional women joined the lawsuit this year. Chelsea Henke became the 10th Disney executive to join a lawsuit filed against the company in April of 2019 that alleged rampant gender pay discrimination, according to the LA Times. And Facebook became the subject of a federal complaint alleging the company is biased against Black employees and candidates. While it's not a formal lawsuit, a Facebook recruiter and 2 rejected job applicants filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, accusing Facebook of racial discrimination against Black workers and applicants in hiring, evaluations, promotions, and pay, according to Business Insider. So, why is it important? Well, business ethics are the set of practices and policies that companies use to guide them through decisions about finances, negotiations and deals, corporate social responsibility, and much more. Without a strong set of ethics, a business can run afoul of the law, encounter financial pitfalls, and moral dilemmas. Ethical behavior has many benefits for companies beyond giving them satisfaction of doing the right thing. For example, the framework of business ethics boosts employee engagement, helps businesses stand out from their competitors, and leads to higher profits. In conclusion, business ethics is a framework that should be followed by everyone and every company in the business world. These values help to create a fair and safe work environment, and they can guide them into making decisions that are beneficial to them as individuals and to the organization as a whole. Building on a foundation of ethical behavior helps to create a long-lasting positive effect for a company.
You did a great job. I really liked how you included statistics for the claims you were speaking about. I just have 2 questions.
Of course.
You mentioned drug use in the workplace.
Mhm.
How would you handle finding an employee who's under the influence?
Right. So I would have to have a conference with them. And what I would do before taking any action is look into their background, see how long they've been working with us, how their attendance is with us, if they've ever had any infractions before. And if it's someone who's been with us for a while, has amazing attendance, I would give them a written warning. And then if I caught them after that, they would be terminated. But if it was a very serious offense where someone's life was in danger or their life was in danger, they would be terminated. So, because I believe in fairness, but when it comes to lives being at risk, there's no fairness for that.
Okay, thank you.
Of
And
course.
then, in your opinion, what is the most important point you touched on during this presentation?
Well, all the points are equally as important. I couldn't pick just one, so I'd have to go with harassment and discrimination. And I feel like those are the foundation. Avoiding those creates the foundation of a safe work environment. So that's why I feel those are the 2 most important to go over, because no one wants to work in an environment where they have the potential risk of being harassed and or discriminated against. So that's why I feel like it's very important to elaborate on those 2, and that's why I would choose them as the 2 most important ones in a presentation of business ethics.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And yeah, that concludes the presentation. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me at my work or personal email, as well as my mobile or work number. Thank you very much, Miss Mead. Have a great night.